Welcome to another Ultimate Basic Training video. For those of you getting ready to leave for basic training, you've probably already figured out that everything is timed. This includes how long it takes you to make your bed, how long it takes you to get dressed, and so on. And of course, these times are always going to be very short. This also includes the time you have to eat your meals. Now, the exact time that you're going to be given to eat is going to depend on what meal it is, if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It also depends on what squadron you get into at basic training, and it also depends on the week of training you're in. For example, if you're at the last weeks of training, you're going to be given more time to actually eat because you're in dress uniform. Now, in the Ultimate Air Force Basic Training Guidebook, I have a chapter in here called Making the Most of Your Meals, and it does just that. It gives you practical tips on what to eat, what not to eat, and how to make sure you eat all the food you're given so that you have the energy to continue on with training. For those of you who are more visual learners, I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you what I call the 3-minute meal. At some point during basic training, you're going to have about 3 minutes to eat everything. So, what's about to follow is me demonstrating what exactly a 3-minute meal is going to look like while you're at basic training. Alright, so what I've done here is I have recreated a meal at basic training. Let me walk you around the plate. Alright, here we have the ever popular meatloaf. Over here we have the famous basic training potatoes, mashed potatoes that is. And here we have the mixed vegetables. Now, the vegetables at basic training will range from anything from peas, broccoli, beans, Brussels sprouts, etc. And you'll actually have a choice of your main entree as well. It'll be limited, but you will have a choice of what you want, or what you get. And of course, one serving of fruit. And I always chose a banana, and I'll tell you why afterwards. Over here, you'll see that we have 3 drinks. Your drink selection during basic training will range from water to sports drinks. And I always chose the sports drinks for the simple reason that during basic training, you're drinking water from a canteen all day, and it's just nice to have variety come mealtime. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to time myself for 3 minutes, see how much of this I can get down. This is not something that you rehearse or plan for basic training. This is just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, and it's not something I've been rehearsing, and there are no second takes. So we'll see how far I get through, and then afterwards I'll explain why I ate what I did in what order. So let's give it a try. Okay, so as you see, I didn't finish everything on the plate, and also I didn't finish the third drink, and I'll explain why. That's at the end. But I want to explain first that I ate everything. I ate the meatloaf all by itself first, because I wanted to get, that's the one thing that I wanted on the plate more than anything else was the protein. For me, we're doing a lot of exercises, and I can afford to gain weight, and so I want to build muscle, so I went for the meat first. Then I moved on, to the potatoes, and ate as much as I could really feel like I could before I was going to be sick. And then I moved on to the vegetables. Now vegetables are always going to be the hardest to eat, as you probably noticed, because they're just awkward. Even if they're peas, as explained in the book, mash them into your potatoes. But things like broccoli and beans and cut up things, they're just a little harder to eat. So I didn't spend so much time on those. When I noticed that the time was running out, I went right to the bananas. Now, the reason I always get bananas as opposed to other fruit is because you're not going to be drinking milk during basic training, and you can start to have cramps because of that. If you're used to getting that kind of milk then bananas are a great source of potassium and will help with those leg cramps. The leg, like Charlie horses, you wake up in the middle of the night just dying from a Charlie horse, so I always got bananas in. Glasses. You notice that I flipped them over when I was done. That's something that you're required to do at basic training. And I purposefully did not finish this last one. And the reason is you're not required to finish everything on your plate during basic training. An instructor can tell you to get up and leave even though your plate's not clean. That's not one of the stipulations they have. But they do have to make you finish all of your drinks. You cannot leave until all of these are empty. So I always leave one about half full so that I know that I can continue eating, and as soon as that instructor tells me to get up and leave, I can stop eating and I still have time to finish this, and they'll sit there and watch me until I'm finishing drinking this, and once that's done, you flip it over and you leave. Excuse me. So, more tips and more advice, how to get the most out of your meals, go to the Ultimate Air Force Basic Training Guidebook, and also go to the Ultimate Basic Training website, and you can go to the blog section, and there's actually an article in there about what to do if you're a vegetarian during basic training. So yeah, I know this is a little different than the other videos, but I hope it helps and gives you a little bit of an insight into what you have to look forward to during basic training.